I, like you, am yet again shocked and horrified by our president selling out our country to a hostile foreign power. So the question is, what do we do now? And what we do now is we build power and we fight smarter and harder than we have before. And we keep going to make change in America. We keep doing the work. So my work is around the midterms and supporting activists who are working on the midterms, particularly activist leaders. So I'm going to keep doing that, and that's what I'm going to do with this video. So let's have at it. Okay, so this past weekend I did another democracy road trip. This was to Washington's 4th Congressional District, which is in eastern Washington. It's a rural area of the state, agricultural. And what I'm going to bring back for this video is not a story of the trip, but a question that I got from a volunteer leader there who's organizing canvases. And she said basically it was asking, how do you deal with demoralized volunteers and how do you support them? So these are 4 suggestions for how to support demoralized volunteers. So the first thing that you do is you need to make sure that you yourself are not demoralized, because absolutely volunteers will take an emotional cue from you. So that means go back to self-care. I think it was episode 22. So that's the first thing, is make sure that your emotional health is strong so that you can project confidence and positive attitude and optimism, and gratitude also is a really important one. To be grateful for your volunteers and express to them that they matter, and that their work matters, right? Because sometimes it can feel like we're just cogs in a wheel, we don't have power. Actually, we do have power. So reminding them of that. The second thing you can do is give them choice. So that means that they choose what work they're doing. If there's phone banking, or there's canvassing, or there's texting, or there's postcards, and you've determined that they have equal value, then give your volunteers the choice of what they do, because their energy will be best when they're doing something that they're interested in. So in the beginning, and then as you're working with volunteers, if what they're working on is bringing their energy down and there's another option, let them switch over. The third thing is managing expectations. If you're doing a canvass and it's low propensity voters, and you know that it's likely that people won't want to vote or won't care or won't be friendly, you don't just tell your volunteers that. Say, we're reaching into new territory here, we're trying to build up a new voter base, we're on the frontier here, whatever language you want to use to let your volunteers know that, you're doing something new, it's a new challenge, and that they might get different kind of responses. And the fourth thing, which is maybe even my favorite, is to create community and support within the volunteer group itself, regardless of the interaction that they're having with other citizens they're trying to mobilize or persuade. And here my example is Jim Street, who is a great canvas organizer here in Seattle. And after every canvas, he has kind of an informal debrief, let's have a coffee, let's have an ice cream, where people can just talk about the experience they have and also connect with one another. The different canvassers can connect with one another. And I found that to be really helpful. I went on a canvas with him and it was actually really tough. It was, can't remember if it was low propensity or just not particularly supporters that we were canvassing, but a lot of people were even aggressive to me, and I was demoralized at the end. But then just being able to share that, to let that off, to put that burden aside, and also have a really nice experience with Jim and another canvasser, just a social experience. It really helped me to feel motivated again, and also to feel that I mattered to Jim and to the other canvassers and to the canvassing effort. So this is not required, but just that people know that after every canvas, after every volunteer activity, there's some small social activity. It could be going to a cafe, it could be going out for a drink, if that is a culture that works for your group. So first thing you can do for your volunteers is your own self-care. Second is giving them choice. Third is managing their expectations and being honest with them. so they know what to expect. And fourth is building community yourself within your volunteer group, regardless of the feedback or whatever is happening to them when they're doing their volunteer work with other citizens. So I hope that's helpful. Let's keep going. Let's not just keep going, but let's actually get better and more powerful and more effective. Because this is an important time in our nation's history. We're all going to look back and people are going to ask, what did you do when Trump was president? What did you do after we knew that he was in thrall of a hostile foreign power? And we want to have a good answer to that. So let's do it.